Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ayy, coming down like precipitation. I ain't never met a limitation. Hate plotting my elimination. Gotta go to Google for the information. I'm a superstar, so I gotta shine. Top dollar be the bottom line. Bottom feeding niggas out of line. Turn your heart rate to a dotted line. Yeah, my zodiac probably dollar sign. Got the energy to win it, my nigga, I'm feeling great. Got a day with destiny, focusing on my fate. I don't give a fuck what you rapping, you been a fake. I'm everything that they ain't, it can't be, it won't be. Wanna see me fall, I can't go, I won't leave. Coming from the block with plain clothes and police. Straight up to the top with bankrolls and rollies. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ayy, 12 can't really stop shit, so I'm still pushing like a mosh pit. Ice dripping, think I'm hot shit. In a yellow bucket with the mop stick. I've been jugging jams like wholesale. Everything must go sell. Hitting bitches with the oh well. Need 100 milli on the low scale. On my worst night, I'm the best nigga. Wouldn't mess with you, couldn't cap to him. Homie spotted me like 700, brought 1100 right back to him. If I can't do it, then it ain't real. I just make dollars, I don't make deals. I've been going hard in the paint, still blowing kush clouds till I can't feel like. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
And it took us a little while, but we're finally live here for the Titan Conqueror League in the final week of the regular season for our matchup between the TMG Demon Hunters and Elysium Supermassive. I'm Isaac. Joining me tonight on the cast will be Jacob.
Hello. Good to be back.
Yeah, so with this matchup specifically, we're going to go straight into the draft. But the Demon Hunters, not exactly been on the not exactly the best of time in the past couple weeks, which is a bit weird because just a couple weeks ago they were pretty much considered the best, one of, if not the best team in the league. But now 2 losses in a row from against Dorado and against the Syndicate Cat Girls. It's not been the most ideal situation, but on the other side, Elysium Supermassive kind of scaling up, actually managed to take down Dorado Gaming Omega, who was up until this point the only undefeated team in Conqueror League.
Yeah, it can be a bit of a fall from grace when you're an undefeated team and you take your first loss. Sometimes you have players that are used to winning. A team gets so used to winning that a loss can shake things up. We'll see how TMG can manage to deal with getting hit twice in a row and then playing against a powerhouse of Elysium here. Wonder if they will succumb to a 3rd loss in a row or if they'll be able to pick things back up.
Well, we were talking about the situation heading to this one. The bans were Caitlyn, Jarvan, Jax, Vi, Gwyn, and Smolder coming through, targeting a lot of comfort on both sides. So we'll go with what's still available. Elysium Supermassive picking up the Ornn.
Yeah, that's an Ornn B1. That's not something you see quite every day, and that's going to be a Rumble in response. Very interesting. Usually we don't see tops picked early in this ELO bracket, but we've obviously got some high price. That's what you were talking about. We were talking about it just before the stream. We were talking about TMG loves to flex around this Rumble, and it looks like they're going to give away that flex right away and show that that is indeed a Rumble jungle with a Cassante into Scion, or Ornn, sorry.
Yeah, I think giving up the flex potential that early when they lock in the Rumble is a little bit odd. Obviously, if Elysium Supermassive had done their scouting, they would know that it is a flex pick. But it's not like Terps hasn't played the Rumble either. It's been about equally split between Olves and Terps in terms of how often they play it. So giving up that information really early seems a bit odd, but the response from Elysium Supermassive is to pick up the Aphelios for themselves, as it's usually often banned away from Delhi, but Elysium going to look to take it out of the series early on, as they've picked the blue side and that's what they're using it for.
Yeah, Elysium here is probably going to look to knock down 2 setup champions here. You notice that the side of TMG's got MF and Rumble, 2 champs that love those wombo combos, but they've got Cassante, who doesn't really fit with that theme, so they probably want some kind of support that's going to set up some CC for them here, or maybe even a mid laner, I don't know, like an Orianna, who is still up, even though she's been very overpowered as of late. We'll see what they pick up on 4. I'm hoping it's some kind of CCR setup for this. It should be. But so far, I am liking the Elysium draft a little bit more.
We'll talk about CC and setup. Leota is exactly what the doctor ordered in that regard. But it does mean Braum is up and available, and that will be the choice for Elysium. We got to feel like that's an insta-lock with what they've drafted in the bot lane.
Yep. There's the Braum coming in. Premier duo lane partner with the Aphelios as well, and there is the Mel Blind as well, very strong into the Misfortune.
And not only is it good into the Misfortune, Elysium Supermassive opting into these early takeaways from what the Demon Hunters really like to play, and their comfort champions, both the Aphelios and the Mel. One that they've, in terms of flexing, since that's what the Demon Hunters have really come to know themselves for, is that flex potential. The other champ that does fit the bill for them is this Mel. So being able to take that in game 1, just not have to deal with it for the rest of the series, I think is pretty high value for Elysium Supermassive, and not only within this game itself, but within the larger picture of the whole as a whole.
Yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of the Elysium draft across the board here. I really like the simplicity of the comp. An Ornn at this level is always just going to be so overpowered. Such good engage. Not too bad of a matchup for him to... he'll be able to survive that. On the side of TMG, they have two Wombo Combo ultimates, obviously, that they picked early, the Rumble and the Misfortune. And it's good to have a Leona, but that's not the kind of AoE CC that this team comp is kind of looking for. When you're only looking at one target, as Leona usually does, it's pretty rough to see on the other side a Ivern and a Braum that are going to be defending that single target they're going for. Pile that on with the Syndra, and I think that Elysium just kind of countered TMG across the board what they're trying to do. I think what TMG have going for them is the volatility, right? Elysium are going to look to group up a lot more, but champions like the Syndra and the Cassante are a lot stronger in the side lane. So we will see how those solo laners are able to make use of their counter picks here and generate some sort of lead for themselves, because I'm a little worried for their team fight.
Well, if there is one point of consolation for the TMG Demon Hunters, since we've kind of been a bit down on their draft so far, is that they definitely thrive in the chaos. They love just fighting nonstop and really making things as hectic and unpredictable as possible, which is making them a very fun team. But before we get to that, Brang might even be in a little bit of trouble getting snared up by Duddy Brains. He will more than likely get out, gets down half HP, isn't going to recall in that push very audaciously. Obviously, Elysium Supermassive not going to push their luck for themselves. It would have been very, very lack of info. I don't want to say audacious again, but for the lack of better term, we will run with it. But again, that sort of hectic nature already showing itself early on, though kind of started out by Supermassive.
Yeah, and not to knock their draft too much. I mean, for some people it works, right? For some teams, they thrive in that volatility. Getting those counter picks of your choice in the solo lanes can be very important. So I think that's where TMG are going to look to make a lot of their lead this game if they are looking to take home this W.
We'll probably have to get that early advantage, though. But one place that might be hard to be is here in the bottom lane. Shy Vision already taking a solid chunk of damage. Leona famously really needs that level 2 to fully become a champion, and the extra range that his Phalios has was already slowly starting to chip away at them. But obviously, it's still really early doors. And so we take a moment of that. Anything that sticks out to you? Actually, one thing that does stick out to me before I get to that is the exhaust for Shy Vision.
Usually supports are exclusively taking heal nowadays, but we've got an exhaust on the Leona. I think that makes sense when you're playing against a 2-carry comp like this. It just generally has more value. There's less targets to exhaust in a fight. It's almost always going to be a Phalios. I think interestingly though is despite the favorable trades bot lane for Elysium, TMG were able to secure level 2 first down bot lane, and they are now putting the pressure right back on to Elysium and getting that prio.
And as said, they kind of have to do that if things get a little bit too even, a little bit too long. Obviously, Braum works notoriously well into Misfortune, just throws up the Unbreakable as soon as bullet time is dropped. Same thing as the unleashed power from Vrang on Syndra can very easily be stopped, well, not only by Cloudberry, but also Dongo on the Mel, who it has come in for this one a little bit unexpectedly. The expectation was that it was going to be Naysayer in the mid lane for Elysium for this one, and speaking of Elysium Supermassive, they've not really been able to have a consistent roster for the past few weeks, and yet still they've managed to make it work.
Yeah, they've managed to make it work. I would say excellently. I believe they are first seed in their group, right?
Yeah,
they're at a
based on
5-1
head-to-head
record
over Dorado Omega.
Yeah, so clearly they've been able to make it work regardless. Some pretty well-known players in the scene that have been around a while on some winning rosters, so not too much of a surprise there. But yeah, I'm excited to see how this game turns out.
I forget who my team is muted is. I remember they changed their name to it. I'm forgetting their actual, or not actual like username, but the one they had before. My team is muted. But But I remember that happening. If someone said the name, I'd be like, oh yeah, them. But it's one that if you are familiar with seeing one beat recognized around. And so yeah, it's Elysium Supermassive. One of the teams that has been, oh, wait, hold on, straight to the top lane. Metal getting burned down by the flame spitter of Alls. Terps doing well to lead in Metal. And now under tower flash forward. First blood will be claimed, but it will be answered back by the tower shot.
Yeah, a bit of a close one there. Alves just couldn't quite overheat in time there, so decided to send it under the turret when he finally could. I think you take that as worth if you're on the side of TMG. I mean, the early kills will favor you because you want to start making this a little bit more chaotic when we get these level 6 spikes. And of course, a kill for the Rumble is usually just better than a kill on the Ornn.
And as well, the
no.
extra damage that will be dropped. -1. No, it's okay. You know, these things happen. You know, it is what it is. Just pick yourself back up and, well, I don't know if unlucky is necessarily the right term, but unfortunate is absolutely the case. But now Metal has no flash. We'll just throw up his little pillar and the slow will get him out.
Yeah, and Alves making a quick retreat to the top lane again. Definitely spending quite a lot of time here. I'm guessing he sees those as some opportune kills. Oh, dodges.
Neither of the CCs will drop. So, yeah, Brang doing well with the fancy feet, or I guess hands, clicking his way around the 2 CC abilities that are available to Dongo and Duty Brains. But, no dice there. But all this time that was left in the top lane, that Alves is committed means Duty Brains moves right in and takes a few camps away for himself.
Yeah, always a very powerful invading champion, this Ivern. Walk in, take 1 camp instantly, smite, out. Always gotta watch out for him punishing you on the other side of the map when you make plays like that. Takes it right under Alves' nose there. Oh, nice reflect.
Dongo not going to get stunned up by the Scout of the Week. But what is important is a few of these recalls that were kind of happening in the bottom lane off your screen there. Does mean that my team is muted and Cloudbreed did recall in a bit of an odd time with Alves and Brain getting that push in. Means that the first strike almost certainly will go their way.
Yep, and as we talked about, this is kind of the stuff that TMG wants. Those late game 25+ minute team fights are just not looking great for them. So getting these early leads is definitely what their composition is trying to do. And we'll see how the trading starts to pick up in the mid lane. This is around the time that it starts actually getting interesting. Syndra is about to hit the 40 Splinter power spike mark here, where he starts being able to have access to 2 Qs in a trade instead of just 1. So hope to see him starting to force trades for Prio here. Bloody Brains just walking in, being annoying again, as Ivern does.
Yeah, but Prio is what is going to be a bit important, especially as the grubs are coming up soon. But we move straight to the bottom lane. Deli's very low, flashing away. He's out of range of the Aphelios. Won't matter as the Q lands onto the Misfortune. And so it's a 2v1 now for Shy Vision, but he's on the wrong side of the map. Snare drops, and red, white don't fight. It's a double kill in the bot lane for My Team is Muted. And all the while up top, it's all going the way of Elysium Supermassive.
Looks like all the plays are going their way. 2v2 kill in the bot lane and a successful gank from Duddy Brains in the top lane means nothing but heads coming up here for Elysium. A near 2k gold lead. It looks like they're going to make their way over to the Grubs. And this early game went from looking pretty good, pretty decent for TMG, to not so much.
Yeah, 1.5k down in 8 minutes is not ideal for the Demon Hunters, especially since it has been so imperative for them to be able to get ahead early with how much scaling Supermassive have drafted for themselves. It's not over necessarily by any means, but these Grubs, with the priority that you would want them to have, would help so much for being able to take these plates, being able to inject themselves with more gold. That just won't be available to them anymore.
Yeah, and I always love having grubs with a team comp like this. Ivern is so powerful at those sieging positions because he's able to put those bushes in the lane, and it just gets so annoying to try and fight people who are basically under your tower but also out of vision. So having those grubs for siege moments like that is super broken. Yeah, a little bit of a cheeky lane gank here in the bot lane from Alves. See what he's trying to accomplish here.
Zenith Blade not quite going to hit the mark on the Cloudberry. Wolves been a bit of time here. The bot lane won't quite find a way in. Be a little bit hard too, as Cloudberry obviously has access to the Unbreakable. We'll just throw that right up as soon as they opt to go. And so recall comes through, and the play in bot lane just really doesn't amount to much in the end.
Trades in the top lane, just going back and forth. Ornn with those 2 kills going up makes it from a lane that Cassante would usually be able to trade pretty favorably into not so much anymore. Oh, but Metal's gonna go in and miss that E.
And now it does have to flash away. It was a very aggressive move from Metal into a Terps who has the ability to go all out. Take a decent amount of damage into Metal. Does get that flash away, and slight advantage to GMG Demon Hunters. We'll see if they can really capitalize it on this time around, as they were kind of unable to previously.
Yep, not allowed. Not allowed to use that E when your W is not up as Ornn in this lane. Oh, they're looking for a bit of a play.
I mean, I like the idea. You know, Cloudberry was away, and that it'd take him longer to get back. So, you know, Solar Fairy hits the target, you get the stun, that's almost certainly a kill, but the Unbreakable comes up onto the Zenith Blade. Glacial Fissure going to drop. Deli might be caught, but the Equalizer has arrived. A 3v3 in the bot lane. Cloudberry going to use the heal and hop away to Duty Brains. Means despite all the abilities being used, no one goes down.
Yep, nobody goes down. Elysium are able to kite that one out, and they're going to return back to a pushing lane state here. I thought the Equalizer looked pretty good from Alves, but then he just kind of did no damage.
It's surprising too.
That's just the Ivern shielding, huh?
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, dropped down the amount of shields that Ivern had. It pretty much negated that amount of damage. Now, Alves should be doing a lot more, as he has now come back with fully completed item, going to be burning through anyone he targets in that first item power spike that Rumble really likes. So we'll see the next time around if it could go a bit better for this Rumble.
Yeah, I'm sure hoping so. I'm hoping that this next dragon, TMG, are going to feel the pressure and really try and fight on this one. Perhaps bait Elysium into something they aren't expecting. It looks like they do have decent priority mid, but we're going to get a recall here from Brang to buy his item, I presume. But this bot lead is kind of getting out of control because they are really early into this river, and Ivern's just walking them in, and it feels pretty hard with this fully completed item of Aphelios.
Yeah, until Wild Arrow's done before Deli can complete the Bloodthirster for themselves. But Drake has spawned, and you would have to say that the Demon Hunters do spike a bit earlier in terms of strength, so despite being a little bit behind at this point in time, should they take a fight, they are at least slightly favored at this point. And of course, if Deli is not left completely isolated, but as it stands, Elysium Supermassive are committing a lot for this Drake. They do find the target of Alves, taking them down to half HP. Metal is arriving. And so now all 5 members versus 4 going the way of Supermassive, but Call the Forge God miss. Misses. Shybition is the target, getting claimed by the Golden Eclipse, but the bullet time is massive, and Terps is going all out, and the health bars are very low. TMG Demon Hunters are rising in defiance in this fight. And as they said just a few moments ago, they spike earlier and they use that extra power available to them to full effect.
Yeah, so Dongo started off that fight by hitting 2 Mel roots in a row, chunking somebody down to about half HP. And at that point, I thought the fight was just completely over. But I think they just did not respect the MF and her position on the side there. An excellent angle there for the MF ulti, just completely evaporates the side of Elysium, just totally shredding through the Mel and the Aphelios. and just completely turning the fight. Terps with a great heads-up play there, ulting right in and just cleaning up what he can, and that's the second Drake for TMG, and they've found themselves in a much more commanding position than they were in about 5 minutes ago.
Oh, there's also a really good cancel of the Call of the Forge God, not able to get that
Oh,
second
yes.
cast
Yes.
off. You got to feel with how the way the Demon Hunters were lined up, that goes through. That fight goes very differently. But instead, now Demon Hunters, despite being down 2k gold just a few minutes ago, now back even, are stacking up the Drakes as well. They'd be able to use that extra pressure from the Dragon stacking to be able to drag Elysium Supermassive to where they want them.
Yep, it's really good to get those Drakes, not just to have them themselves, but when you give a scaling comp a lot of Drakes, it becomes very, very unfortunate. Oh, and
No, this is not going to amount to much. Dirty Brains doesn't do damage. No one in that exchange does any sort of damage. They're going to look at each other funny and contemplate the definition of a game. Can kind of laugh that while it technically does meet the definitions of one, it's effectively just not
he
really.
showed up. He gets a participation award. He's increasing his top proximity.
He's aura farming on Terps. He's making him. I don't know.
He's upsetting him. He's upsetting him because he knows that in the comms, Terps is going, jungler's just in my lane again. What am I supposed to do? Can't get any prio. Where's my jungler?
What supposed to do is be able to try to start up a fight potentially as the Scatter Weak finds way out to Duty Brains. The flash forward and the Solar Flare not quite going to find the mark onto this Ivern. Would have been a pretty big pick as Rift Herald is up. It would have been no smite for a Supermassive. Instead, it's a lot of resource committed by the Demon Hunters without anything anyway, they don't get anything worth they've committed.
Yeah, I think a slight second of indecision there. It seemed they didn't know if they wanted to fully commit on that Syndra Stun or not, and it gave Dirty Brains the opportunity to flash away from that one. But the TMG are able to pick up the Rift Herald regardless, and we'll see how they're going to use that to reclaim some pressure across the map. They have gone down a little over 1,000 gold, but the Dragon's on their side, and item spikes coming in for the Rumble, who's sitting on a mask now. He is very strong. I think they're just going to be looking for these 2 item spikes, look to fight on this third Drake, and I think try and blow the game beyond repair for Elysium, because if they're able to pick up that third Drake and then able to force that early soul before the members of Elysium can pick up those third items or the Ornn upgrades, it's going to be quite difficult for them.
Yeah, and that is exactly what they will have to do as we now hit the 17.5-minute mark in this game. Elysium Supermassive still looking to scale up, still technically in a gold lead of about 1k. Being able to take that tower in the bot lane in response to the Rift Herald does help with that. We do have that extra gold, standing gold that was claimed their way, but I think, as you mentioned, this next fight, it's not the Cloud Drake, despite what the little icon in the top left corner of your screen will try to tell you. It's actually going to be that Kim Tech map and Soul coming up. One that also one that it would be a good denial sort of thing, even if by the time Elysium Supermassive were able to get a Soul, it had gone on way too long. The point still remains is that Elysium Supermassive would very much benefit from one.
Yes, they would. The Chemtech Soul on top of Ivern Shields is not something you want to see. That stuff is disgusting. It's like, most people hate to see Chemtech Soul,
Actually,
but like
Rang might be in trouble. Hold on.
Oh, Cloudberry with a
Winter's Bite not going to hit the mark.
Yeah,
and,
I think they just don't see the bot lane right. They're coming off of recall here, so they could walk to that play and potentially sour that. Rift Herald is going to be summoned up in the mid lane though, looking to crack down this mid Q1, open up this map a little bit.
That, and also try to draw pressure away and pick out Duty Brains, who is the target of Demon Hunters. That's going to be the first kill to TMG DH. There's not a lot of response, but Deli takes a big chunk of damage from My Team is Muted. Called Forge God, second cast not going to hit the mark. Finally, Metal gets the kill onto the Misfortune, but at what cost? Terps is into the back line, taking his Supermassive very low, and so the turn is onto this isolated Ornn, getting burned down by the Flame Spitter. Vrang's the one who's able to secure the kill, but no jungler, no Ornn available for Supermassive means that the Drake is the target for the Demon Hunters, and they get exactly what they came for.
I love the decisiveness to make that engage there. My Team is Muted goes to pick up the Riftchild and the wave that's crashing into the turret, and as TMG take their position in the river, they rightly identify Ivern is walking up too far, and they are able to hit that Leona ult onto him and just one-shot him with that Rumble ult. And then they correctly kite back onto the Ornn TP. They do lose Deli, I believe, but they're able to just sweep up that Ornn because that is a flanking Ornn. And interestingly, on the bottom side of the fight, I actually think it was potential that Elysium gets aced there, but the Mel was able to reflect Cassante Q3. Oh, and we got a sneaky little Atacon here.
Yeah,
I don't know though, TMG. TMG are off their bases. I don't think this is fast enough.
Well, we've got it down to half HP now. TMG Demon Hunters will know that Drake has started up. All their ultimates are back up off of cooldown, so all of us will drop the equalizer, start up this fight, and it's a perfect one. The Solar Flare finds the target, executed wonderfully by TMG Demon Hunters. That's the fight they would have wanted. That's the angle they were looking for. This strategy is absolutely flawless, and yeah, it's gone from good to better for TMG Demon Hunters, and now I'm getting the Otacon as well. I mean, I like the idea from Supermassive, but it's just not fast enough to be able to sneak that Otacon away.
Far, far too slow. You're right, the idea of a tempo play like that where you've just lost and you get back up on the map and you instantly decide we're going to make a play now because they are going to have to recall if they stayed too long. The thing is that TMG didn't stay too long. They respected the fact that the Atacon was alive and well, and they recalled in time to be able to respond to a play like that. And it was just beautiful from TMG as well. I mean, the Solar Flare, the Cassante flank coming in, hitting the W on 3 people, like,
the equalizer as well.
There. Yeah.
Yeah. And
just
now TMG Demon Hunters, I think for the first time this game, takes the gold lead, but it's a big one of about 3.5K. Sorry, quick math, a little bit not quite perfect. The point still remains. The Demon Hunters have fully swung the tempo vibes, so to speak, in their favor, as they've been winning every single fight that they've come up for, every single big objective fight anyway.
And this Rumble is just so strong now. Sitting on this Leandries, sitting on this Bloodletter's Curse, especially with another magic damage champion and another mask. This soul fight is in 230, and this guy is going to be a problem for Elysium if they cannot find a way to deal with him. Terp's just gonna smack down the top turret a little bit too while he gets the chance.
Yeah, and this is exactly the point that the Demon Hunters they eventually found themselves in, despite the early deficit they were in. But they're rising in defiance, but it will take a little bit before they can truly utilize the potential of their composition, as we still have 2 minutes. Okay, right as I say that, never mind my previous statement. Vrang's going to pick up his 4th kill of the game on an overextended Ornn in the bot lane.
Yep, down he goes, and that's probably a tier 2 that they're going to play for. Look for the gold from that, and then base. Probably get Rumble his 3rd item here. Terps has different ideas, though. He wants blood.
Oh, yeah, he wants Duty Brain's going to go all out on Ivern, who's eventually killed the... Doesn't matter that the Redemption heals himself back up. Cloudberry now the next target. Will throw up the Unbreakable, but he really isn't, as he goes down... Again, a few odd fights without much to take except for a few towers, which will be yet another injection of gold that the Demon Hunters will want up for the next Drake.
Yep, the Demon Hunters have completely blown this game open. They're going to recall with a lot of gold in their pockets from those kills, from the turrets, and the cherry on top. The Soul is up in less than a minute here. Elysium have to try to make some kind of play here, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to muster something against the gold lead that TMG has generated for themselves. Play after play after play. They have been proactive. They did not let Elysium outscale them, and they are in a more than commanding position so far in this game 1.
45k to 38. That's, wait, hold on, quick math. I can do that. 7? I think that's 7k.
7.
Either way.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. I can math, right? My
Yeah,
mom's not
it.
going to be disappointed in me. She's a math teacher, so
Oh, there you go. That's where you get it
for
from.
yeah, for what is the word I'm looking for? See, she's a math teacher, not an English teacher. Context is the word that I was looking for, but. Yep, that is, speaking of context, again, I mentioned the 7k earlier, is a very big amount of context that is going into this fight, which is now started up, but a good scout of the week finds way onto multiple members, layering with the equalizer onto multiple members. The stream is kind of slowing up, but we know how this one goes because the Demon Hunters find a clean ace. Nobody goes down on the side of the red team, and they'll take that soul, they'll take the Baron, and, well, they haven't quite taken this game just yet, but you gotta feel that that's coming in short order.
Yeah, Elysium are getting far too big for their britches there. They're not playing like they're as behind as they are. You can't do that. You cannot just walk into River as 5 when you are that far behind. You need to make some sort of a creative play or a pick. But I think more impressively is TMG read that hard. They read, okay, these guys do not win. Our Leona is just going to walk into melee range of your carries. He'll get hit for a couple seconds, but he knows that he's got more firepower behind him than Elysium does. So they just make the simple engage. Their front line just starts hitting the enemy front line, and they win.
Yeah, and it really is. it's the wallets are so big and are even bigger now, and it'll I don't want to say nigh on impossible, because typically we are supposed to be at least looking for some way back in it for the team that is behind, but 11k down at 26 minutes is monumental would be an understatement for Elysium Supermassive to be able to find a way back into this one.
Yeah, they've got...
Oh, they'll try with the call of the Forge God coming through. They'll separate Vrang from the rest of his team. He will get a trade kill back.
Oh
It won't even matter. It looked like a good angle, but the wallets are just too big for the Demon Hunters. At the very least, they'll get the Syndra. That is Elysium Supermassive killing Vrang, but that's all they'll get. It's really a small consolation for what they're going to lose. Tier 3 tower and inhibitor within the sights of the Demon Hunters, and maybe even the game.
Yeah, that bullet time was absolutely massive once again from Delhi, just completely shredding My Team Is Muted and Duddy Brains there, and they're just going to push for the end there. Not much threat left.
Solar Flare is going to drop. It's going to find the slow onto Donga, who's now getting burned down and finally killed. It took a while. They get him shy. Bishan no longer targeted by the tower as that's taken away, and so the target is the Nexus. They aren't going to ignore the respawning Elysium Supermassive members. Terps going to auto attack down the Nexus to be able to claim game 1 for the side of the Demon Hunters.
Yeah, and honestly, what an impressive showing from them. I was not inspired at all by this draft. I was very impressed with Elysium's. I thought that the late game was just going to be... I didn't think that TMG were going to be able to put on as much pressure early game. But you know what? I'm sorry, TMG, because they proved me wrong. They made play after play in the mid game once they hit their spikes. They knew what they were doing with the Rumble. The equalizers were on point. The capitalization on mistakes, I think, of Elysium was the big one this game. The Atacon play, the 4th Drake. TMG called the bluff of Elysium very, very well time after time this game and punished them to no tomorrow. Not even allowing them to get a single Drake, not allowing them to scale, not allowing them to get those Ornn items flowing through, and we said they had to be proactive, and proactive they were, and this game was theirs for the taking.
Yeah, and it's particularly impressive considering that they were down around 1.5K gold really early on. It was looking not favorable for them, and obviously with how much time was left, they did manage to turn it around. But fair play to TMG Demon Hunters to be able to find that really early fight. I think it was around the second Drake where I think there's that one inflection point that each game has that causes the rest of the game to play out as it was. And I think it was the Terps Pathmaker stun stopping the second cast of the Oranhorn that really won that fight and potentially the game. It's just a bit of a butterfly effect sort of situation for this game one that I think really stood out to me, and I'm glad that it happened.
Yeah, absolutely. That fight with Terps canceling the Ornn ult, the misfortune on the side hitting the absolutely massive bullet time, and just the amazing follow-up there. I think my MVP for this game has to go to Terps. I think he played that fight exceptional, obviously saved his team. The Atacon flank was... Honestly, at first I doubted it. I thought that he should TP and play front to back with his team, but he made the flank work excellently, and I thought he just played this game great. Set up really well. Comp that is kind of hard to set up for is Cassante, right? You're looking for that AoE CC with a misfortune and a rumble, but he played pretty well for them. The best I think he could, and a well-deserved win for him in the side of TMG.
And so the TMG Demon Hunters are done hiding now. They're shining like they were born to be. But we'll see if they can keep up that momentum into game two. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll bring that to you. So don't go anywhere. And we are back after a bit of an extended break here for Game 2 between TMG Demon Hunters and Elysium Supermassive. And it was a rather exciting Game 1 with a few twists and turns in it.
Absolutely, it was. We definitely had TMG coming in and showing their best on some of those picks there, with some really impressive playmaking in the mid game, particularly. But we've now got Elysium selecting the red side, I believe. We'll see what they're trying to. They're trying to get some counter picks now. We'll see what they are able to do with those. I believe these are the same bands, right?
Wait, was Caitlyn banned last time?
Pretty sure Caitlyn was banned.
Yes, I know the TMG bands are exactly the same. I think, yeah, actually, I'm thinking it probably was. We might be making ourselves look silly here, but no, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it in fact was, but the Wukong going to be taken away by Elysium Supermassive this time around means that there's a few comfort picks available for the Demon Hunters, like the Jax, like the Gnar, like the Tristana, all available, but Ashe will be B1'd.
Ashe it is. We'll see what Elysium have cooking in response to that. Still some pretty OP picks left up. Oh, okay, there's the Pantheon. So are we going to see the Talia coming in right beside that? That's usually what teams do with the Pantheon. Pretty good into Ashe.
Has a lot of easy layering of that CC, but the Jinx does come through. I mean, with ADC already being shown, picking up for yourself is quite alright. It's not the ADC that Elysium Supermassive absolutely loves, as Smolder is banned away, but my team is muted also does like the Jinx, which was available and they took, but Orianna could definitely be an option for the Demon Hunters. But Annie is one that they play a little bit more often, and the choice that the Demon Hunters will go for.
That's fair. A little bit more comfort than the Orianna, I'm assuming. And finally, we see the Sion. I've been waiting for Sion. I think he's just so broken. This champion just like, I swear, Sauda wins every game. Like, just completely unkillable. Yeah. And alongside a Jinx, like, it's just the perfect pairing. Match made in heaven, right? And so we're already, I think, after these first 6 picks, looking at a very, very similar game plan from game 1. Elysium are much more favoring the scaling side, although they do have a Pantheon for a little bit more playmaking, while TMG are just full send. We want to fight you. We want to get one item. We want to get these early Drakes. We want to make some things happen across the map. So see if Elysium lean into more of that scaling, and there it is.
Will absolutely do just that. Veigar being the lock-in for Elysium Supermassive, and again looking very similar, like they're looking to play the long game this time around with all of this infinite scaling, or I say all of this infinite scaling. Technically it's really only the Sion and the Veigar, but the response for the Demon Hunters will pick themselves up. The Rakan set will be the response to the Sion.
Yeah, and you know what? As much as I don't really like Veigar as a champion, I think if you're going to pick it, this is a pretty solid spot. The Cage gets extreme value with Sion, makes hitting that ultimate so easy. The Pantheon ulti as well. Any global ultimate with Veigar Cage is just like, you just have to respect the Cage so much more. So I do like it. If he likes the matchup into the Annie, I don't mind the Veigar at all. The set is an interesting pick too. I haven't seen that been used as a counter to Sion very often, but it obviously makes sense. You just slam the 6,000 HP tank and deal 2,000 damage to the backline. That's what he's hoping to pull off this game as Terps. So yeah, definitely, to me, looking like a lot of the first game. Elysium, I think, opted into a little bit more playmaking in the jungle as opposed to extreme scaling. But TMG are, to me, following the exact same game plan. It looks like they want to fight.
Yeah.
It looks like they want to engage. It looks like they want to make things happen. They do not fancy letting this Jinx and this Veigar reach 3 items. So they've showed that they know how to play that playstyle. They've showed they can be proactive in the early mid game. So I'm excited to see them show off their skills again, or if Elysium is able to turtle a little bit harder this time and make it to those spikes.
I've also been a bit in things about this one. I've been a bit traumatized by a few set haymakers. Sometimes even just watching them, you can feel the life force leave your body when the full. I forget what the actual name of the resource is that set gets. Grit? That's right.
Yeah.
He has a full grit bar and he just presses W, then flashes in, and then everybody's health bars get deleted. Doesn't matter that Scion has 90 million health. If it's in the middle of that sweet spot, it will hit like a truck. Or even then, that's might be a bit of an understatement sometimes. But we're ready to go, loaded on Thrift. Did they see each other? Hold up. I don't think they did.
We're getting a couple pings over there, but I think that's blue side pings on themselves. I don't think they did end up seeing each other. Yeah, they both hugged the side of the wall there. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. They, I mean, gosh, that feels like some sort of bit that would be written up in like a, I don't know, maybe a Three Stooges sort of setup for a slapstick. And well, maybe we'll get that said amount of comical cartoon violence in this game, but it will take us a few moments as they don't see each other, but they will eventually get the knowledge that on the starting locations of each of these teams, as those wards are placed down, eventually Duddy Brains will walk over it, and eventually the absence of Olbs will give these two teams information that both these junglers are going from top to bot.
That is definitely a comedically violent guy. He just walks up to you and he just smacks the hell out of you. That's about all he does. Oh, we got engage.
Deli, maybe a little bit over ambitious, but equally Cloudberry dropping the ignite extremely early.
Yeah. I don't hate it. It's he
goes in again, gets Shy Vision. I mean, he's not shying away from that said cartoonish violence. Brawling down at level 1, a few of those rocket form Jinx auto attacks does a splash damage on both Shy Vision and Deli and gets them down to both around half HP, and it's looking a little bit dangerous for the TMG Demon Hunters bot lane.
Yeah, this bot lane is getting scrappy early, mainly off the back of these two very successful hooks from Cloudberry. Getting quite a big advantage for this Jinx lane, which is always something that's great to see. Jinx usually excels at getting the push just because of the AoE rocket damage, but it's not every day that you see Jinx get these favorable trades in these early levels. So we're gonna miss.
Yeah, not quite gonna.
He's allowed to have a couple of those
this time around. But I guess while we have the focus on this bot lane. The thing that I've noticed is that it's the Glacial Augment. Oh, hold on. Stun up by the baby cage. Yeah, it's an early Vagar. But the Glacial Augment for Shy Vision is one that is one that's not particularly very orthodox for the Rakan.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because both of the supports opt for aggressive Keystones and aggressive Summoners. No heals this game. We got double Ignites here. So these bot lanes...
Oh, Deli opts to move forward. The all-in will try to find its way onto my team is muted, but they now seem Duty Brains making his way to the bot lane. Deli's going to flash preemptively before Olves can arrive, just making sure he's a little bit safe. It's a trade of flashes, but you gotta say, Cloudberry doesn't mind losing his as much as Deli minds losing theirs.
No, absolutely he does not. Nautilus is going to enjoy his time against an Ashe without a flash. With his Ignite coming back up too. Shy Vision helping out here, making sure that this crab is secured. Duddy Brain's not going to be able to contest that. He's just going to settle for the top crab. He'll lose some time on the map, but when all is said is
Terps might actually be in a bit of trouble. Doesn't have access to the Haymaker. We just saw it used Metal taking a decent chunk from the minions, but now out of advert range, looking to chase down Terps, as you said, no mana, can't quite use another decimating smash, but Duddy Brains is arriving. Terps is awfully low. We'll finally see the Pantheon. Walks away, gets him out. and no dice.
Yeah, that's definitely not what you like to see from your counter pick set there. But he did not die. He did not die. We'll give him that. I always find Set very interesting to watch because he's just an incredibly binary champion. He kind of has like another hook hits.
Oh, yeah, it finds its way onto Deli, but the grand entrance does hit. My
Boom.
team is muted to try to chain this one around. It won't matter. First blood goes the way of the Jinx. Gets excited. Will get the flash out of Shy Vision as well. Cloudbray doing a lot of work here in the bot lane. Almost does a little bit more, but the dredge line goes wide.
Absolutely, he is, and we see Elysium winning out on this 2v2 again. Able to get that solo kill onto the Jinx. And yeah, things are looking up in the early game for Elysium once again. We'll see if they're able to bridge that over to a successful mid game this time as opposed to what happened last game.
I was about to say, it is looking a little bit similar to last time around, considering the lead that Elysium Supermassive got for themselves. So we don't want to jump a little bit too early, but it does feel really good to be able to walk back with the BF sword on your Jinx while Deli's struggling a little bit themselves.
Absolutely, and this wave is pushing out now for TMG. If Cloudberry keeps hitting these hooks that he somehow manages to keep finding, I can foresee Deli in an unfortunate situation once again. You can see that both the junglers are posturing toward bot lane. They know that something is probably about to happen down here, especially with this Drake alive and on the table. We'll see what they can do with this Jinx being so strong. Group 6 little trade sends that Haymaker to somewhere that was not anywhere near Sion.
Yeah, wave clearing? Nah, I'm not even going to try to say that, you know? Sometimes that might be a little bit of a cope idea, but Dongo going to avoid this gank, walking away. Serps as well, not going to miss out on the damage this time around. As you mentioned, Drake is up and alive, and with a bit of the push in the mid lane that Demon Hunters garnered for themselves, they will look to, at the very least, claim this scuttle crap and probably look to turn eventually onto the Drake, you would assume, at some point.
Oh.
Before we get to that, Unstoppable Onslaught won't land the CC, but does find the damage onto Terps. A bit of an early Haymaker as well on the set. Will use it to get himself a little shield and then flash away. As you said, this counter pick not really working out the way the Demon Hunters would have hoped.
Yeah, not quite yet, although that does look to be a Blade of the Ruined King for the set, so if he does end up fully completing that item, I anticipate that this set Sion matchup is going to shift very, very violently once that completes.
Oh, yeah.
Sion does not like playing against that item, especially against somebody who applies it as well as Set, so he'll be alright. He's just got to make sure that he doesn't get solo killed here, and I think that this set will be absolutely chilling. Duddy Brains is hovering up near top here, maybe looking to start the grubs. Yes, he is, but Alves is reading this play.
And
They're fighting.
Paranoia is there, does have access to it on this Nocturne.
Oh, he
Gonna
flashed
try
over.
to break the face of the Pantheon, and now the Paranoia is dropped as one scared Pantheon, and that'll be a kill going the way of Alves, but the Veigar has arrived, isn't very strong at this point. Vrang also showing up, getting Veigar very low. Dongo nowhere to go. Alves gets his second kill. Metals estimating a smash, doesn't have enough to trade it back around.
Very nice aggressive flash from Vrang on the back of that play.
Oh, depth charge.
We'll find
to both Deli and Shy Vision. The CC drops, nowhere to go for the Ashe, except for around the Flame Chompers, and flashes away. But they're very low, and so the damage really can't quite come back through. And maybe Cloudberry wouldn't have wanted that. The barrier from Deli keeps him alive from the zap. But this 2v2 is still going all right for Elysium Supermassive, despite how that fight went up and around the grubs.
Yep, it's getting real close down here.
And Shy Vision in trouble. And Duddy Brains also going
do
to arrive just for good measure. The CC drops the flash away from the tower Ago to ensure that the Nautilus stays alive, and there's just nowhere to go for Shy Vision.
Yep, down goes Shy Bishan, and it's, yeah, a bit of the same story. The bot lane from TMG is taking a bit of a hurting in this lane phase, but as we were able to see on the top side there, TMG were definitely getting the better of them in the 3v3. So we'll see if TMG can keep making these favorable plays in other places on the map, because they definitely need it to catch up to this Jinx, who, much like the Aphelios last game, has spiked on this Yuntal here before the Ashe has been able to complete their first item.
Yeah, and you gotta feel that, at least this time around for Elysium Supermassive, that I feel like it'd probably be a little bit easier for this Jinx with the amount of CC that is available, the amount of time that Elysium Supermassive comp can buy for them should things come out. But again, as we said before, TMG Demon Hunters should spike earlier, even though they don't have a few of their first items completed when they come through. That'll probably be the moment. But speaking of fighting, there'll be a double stun from the Veigar. The target is this Annie. That's going to be the kill with the ult dropped, but the response is to drop the Paranoia, and Alves will pick up his third kill of this game. This Nocturne, equally getting kind of scary, and one that you maybe don't want to see go in the way of Elysium Supermassive when you have such an easy target in the Jinx.
Absolutely. I think Vrang stepping up there real aggressively into that Nautilus. Cloudberry just takes that to the face. He says, I do not care. I am not scared. But then Nocturne comes in and gives him something to be scared of. So just
Perhaps
an even one
paranoid,
for one trade there.
if
Got a
you
little
will.
paranoid there, yes.
Oh, wait, hold on. Metal gets a kill onto Terps, but we're not done just here. My team is muted, does so much more damage than Deli, and the cleanse means that the Enchanted Crystal Arrow doesn't find the mark. And it won't matter that the ult misses, because that is a Yuntal's Jinx over a half item Deli, but we're going to get a little bit of a replay about what happened here in the top lane, how the solo kill went through. Yeah, now decimating smash not going to be completed, but it just won't matter. Terps is really not feeling it in this top lane.
Yeah, that the Scion W, it hurts a lot, and if you don't have a ton of experience against Scion, you will not be ready for how much damage that W does when it pops. I don't think Terps was ready. I believe he had the Haymaker up, but just did not use it in time, and he kind of got popped there. And it was the same story bot lane. Deli honestly had a very clean sidestep on the Jinx ult, but it just did not matter because he was able to run him down with that extra strength of those few kills, having that Yuntal completed well on his way to this Infinity Edge. And I would say the game is looking gold-wise a lot like it did the first game, but I do think that Elysium's position is much better this game. Importantly, they have many more tools to make things happen.
But the
here.
Paranoia is dropped. Jinx will be the target, but the spell shield not out really in time for Alves, and as it goes away, this Nocturne is the target. Jinx going to be charmed up, but the damage finally arrives from the other team members. My team is muted. We'll get the kill onto Shy Bishan, so 2-0 going the way of Elysium, and Deli is nowhere to go left. Vrang will do their best to turn this around. Won't even get the Timbers off in time. Doggo's going to claim that kill, and it's a bit of a blunder for the Demon Hunters.
Yeah.
Oh, Terps also in trouble again. It's not, action isn't done just yet. Set's had trouble in this matchup. Won't quite die just yet, but Elysium Supermassive are, well, I don't want to be cheesy, but they are super massive at this point in time.
Yeah, they're more than super massive. They're starting to run away with this game even. That second Drake going down to them, this Jinx is incredibly strong. Nocturne just overforcing there a little bit too much and giving away so much gold there.
Full plates, full plates, full plates, full plates. There we go.
This Jinx, is he going to buy a full Infinity Edge on his recall here? I think
he might be able to. I mean, he got a few kills in that last fight. Going to get that extra, I think it was 2 turret plates as well. Not quite
able to pick it up, but his next recall probably, and that very well maybe a 17 or 18 minute.
Oh, wait, the showstopper going to be dropped onto Metal, only does a lot of damage, but Silent just presses W, and doesn't really care.
Yeah, these guys are getting. They're still staying scrappy up here. Set does not even have Blade of the Ruined King yet, too. We'll see. He's probably going to try and get a lot more scrappy after that's completed. Oh, Nocturne did Spell Shield.
No, walks right into the event horizon.
Oh,
but
the
Timbers
anti-ultimate.
drops, finds its way
Wow.
onto 2. Is this the angle that the Demon Hunters needed to get back to this one? They do find the kill onto My Team is Muted. It's a very big shutdown. Alls will be traded back around. The Demon Hunters may have overstayed their welcome. Enchanted Crystal Arrow from downtown by Deli finds its mark onto Dongo. Shutdown getting picked up by Ring. And now Cloudbreed going to be blocked by the Timbers. Oh, Timbers prevents the escape with the dredge line. And now Duty Braids is nowhere left to go. TMG Demon Hunters somehow find a fight and bring this one back a little bit more level.
Elysium might have TMG's numbers when it comes to the laning phase, but
Hey!
Oh, hey.
Yeah. Some more gold for My Team is Muted. Just a little bit of an extra
TMG.
fun bit of gold, you know.
TMG's team fighting and their angles that they see just seem to be better than Elysium. They just are able to make these plays happen over and over again. Set has Bork, finally. I think he's going to be liking this trade, especially with the jungler behind him.
Yeah.
There's a TP.
You say that. Well, they did get the teleport out, and actually they got the Grand Starfall as well. Yeah, a lot committed by Elysium Supermassive to try to pick off a few over-aggressive members of the Demon Hunters. At the very least, even though they don't get any kills, they commit a lot to this Rift Herald, and they'll be able to secure it pretty comfortably.
Yep, they should be doing just that. Team G are going to posture over toward the mid lane a little bit, get some setup bot. I like this a lot more. If you know you can't fight, then just go take the other side of the map. Make sure that it's hard for them to walk in there when the time comes. But as I was saying, the TMG team fighting and just these angles that they see are just honestly very impressive to watch. They consistently find these little opportunities and just they're not hesitant to just flash in and just take it. And that's been the story of this series so far. We'll have to see if Elysium can put themselves in some safer situations and be able to ride out this game, because the 6-1 Jinx is still nothing to scoff at, no matter how many teamfight wins TMG are able to attain here. This Jinx is going to be recalling for the Infinity Edge here, a absolutely massive spike. And if she goes untouched, undealt with in these team fights, we are going to have to keep an eye on her, because once those resets start coming in, TMG don't have a very easy time dealing with her.
Yeah, and right on cue, My Team is Muted does complete that Infinity Edge. And you said it is reminiscent of Game 1 in terms of the way things are going, but it would be a even bigger comeback for the Demon Hunters if they do find it. They were only down at most in Game 1 about 1.5 to 2k gold earlier, just a few moments ago. They were down 4k, and now they've brought it back into a respectable a deficit, one that's not insurmountable, but certainly not the ideal situation for the Demon Hunters, as yeah, the 2-item Jinx is going to hit hard, especially if she gets excited.
Yep, and now we've got the Rift Herald summoned up here. Mid tier 1 will be going down for TMG. Nobody dares to hop in that Herald. Rightfully so.
Oh, and
The
actually
Turf's gone
Turfs might
cage.
be in a bit of trouble, down to half HP. Haymaker not really going to find anyone, but the Paranoia is dropped, and
They're on the Jinx.
My Team is Muted gets
No
excited,
flash.
but the CC drops his way onto the Jinx, and Alves does quite a bit of damage. No more My Team is Muted means that can TMG Demon Hunters turn this one around? They do not, because Deli's free firing away, but he's not exactly all this strong at this point in time. But is it enough? The hook finds its way down onto the Nocturne, and I may have stand corrected. Double kill finds its way onto Deli, and Metal's the only one left alive, even though this Ashe doesn't do a lot of damage if you're left alone long enough. You eventually get burned down, and Demon Hunters, they're keeping things respectable here.
TMG refused to be out team fought this game. When you finally think it is completely unwinnable, Terps is 100% caught out. They have a Jinx free firing with 2 items. They still somehow find a way. I mean, Sky Vision flashing in there with the Recon art, charming up everyone. Alves finds the dive onto the Jinx. I don't think Elysium properly respond to that. They do not peel back onto this Jinx and save his life. And then Delhi just space gliding there. And I think importantly too, something that we didn't get to see a lot on the camera, but I picked up on was Annie went in for this flash R and died. But after dying, Vrang's Tibbers absolutely ran amok in the Elysium backline, just completely zoning the rest of them out of the fight, giving Delhi so much space to just free fire onto this Scion. And Alves, of course, just having zero fear stepping up there. Cloudberry's gonna face check here.
Shy Vision and Alves. Cloudberry is the target. Who's going to be feared. Nice little bit of flame chompers will prevent any sort of advance onto this Nautilus. Interesting that we're all grouping up around this bottom side because obviously the Otacon is up, but it's not exactly one that's particularly easy to take, especially when the enemy team is nearby.
No, definitely not. We'll see them play this Vision War for a while around the objective, I presume. We do have Set and Veigar in the top lane. Importantly, Dongo does have the teleport and Terps does not. We'll see if Elysium are able to capitalize on this summoner advantage. Right now they're trying to get some chip damage on the Scion, which Scion's going to shrug that right off, but it's cute. And they're going to start it. Wow.
Oh, yeah, I mean, my team is muted. It is quite far away. As you said, Dongo does have access to the teleport. Elysium Supermassive will know that it's getting started up, and they are calling everyone down, and Demon Hunters, I think, are a bit wise to this. They are moving away. Delhi's still aggroed by Otacon, though. But yeah, they move off it. It's a funny little prank, but that's just that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible. I see what they're trying to do here, right? There. Oh, Terps is going to go right onto the
Terps might be in a bit of trouble, but
Sound is separated.
It's a really good use of the paranoia, and it's now going to be diving to the backline from Alves, and the charm as well, with the grand entrance and the swiftness finding its way onto Doggo. The Demon Hunters, you said it once, but we'll say it again, they will not be out team fight as they find the angle once again. And I don't believe it. I really don't believe this. The way this early game has gone from down 5k gold, still technically at a gold deficit, but they don't care. Otacon's the target for TMG, and I'm in shock. This is incredible.
They are just so much better at these team fights, at these dancing scenarios around these objectives. They are starting the Atacon and then peeling off of it to bait Elysium over, pulling that Scion out of position, making him respond to the bot wave, and then walking right up and around into the rest of Elysium, and just that snap engage back on. And Scion is charging in.
The unstoppable onslaught will be used, and the global ultimate is dropping. Terps, the target, will have to flash away, and so now Alves is isolated himself. Dongo will be able to pick up that kill. I'm a bit surprised it's not a shutdown, and it's a good dredge line finding the mark. My team is muted. We'll pick that one up, but luckily there's nothing really on the map for Elysium Supermassive to really follow up that fight with.
Yeah, TMG definitely feeling themselves a little bit after that last team fight win, just sticking around way too long against this Scion and Pantheon. These are champions that you cannot afford to overstay against. They will chase you down across the map. So Elysium are going to be able to get a punch back, and they still retain this gold lead, even after the team fights that went TMG's way.
And they've had a pretty significant one for large portions of this game, but as things have gone on, it has definitely closed itself, and as time goes on, typically the goal differences don't mean nearly as much, especially ones that are only about 1k at 24 minutes. But as it is at the 24-minute mark, we do have Baron spawning in a minute, but even before that, we've got a Drake coming up. It will be that soul point for TMG Demon Hunters if they can claim it, and with how they've been team fighting, maybe they can.
This time, though, we've got no any flash, so we can't be relying on a flash Tibbers to win this team fight out. Terps is just going to be walking up, though.
Terps will start it up and will stop the show onto the Nautilus. The punch comes through. The target is Dongo. It's a separated fight all over the place, but the first two, or at least first kill, goes the way of the Demon Hunters. Duty Brain's getting out of there, and the rest of Elysium Supermassive has to escape. My team is muted. Can't really do the damage that they would want to on this Jinx with those items. Chaos is the name for the Demon Hunters. They're looking for a bit more. My team is muted. Have to flash away. Shy Bish should get a little bit, well, shy vicious, and we'll be able to trade a few kills back. At the very least, my team is muted, is able to drop a few auto attacks onto Shy Vision, be able to get a bit of gold for themselves, but it will more than likely be soul point going the way of the Demon Hunters. They're not going to give this one up, though. The teleports, they're going to try to stop this.
They are going to try to stop it.
Drake's only half HP. Unstoppable Onslaught will, in fact, be stopped by the set, which does slow things down, but Alves is very low, and so they feel like they got to get up. Duty Brain's going to just press Q and get that kill, but it might be a little bit too far for the rest of Supermassive. My team is muted. Finally arrive. Will have the zap onto Deli. Gets the slow, so Terps will move forward and sacrifice himself for his ADC. Get down, Mr. President, and Deli does, in fact, get out of there alive.
Yeah, that's going to be Terp sacrificing himself. Are Elysium not going to look at Baron here? Surely this is a Baron call. No, okay.
Metal's not moving up.
All right, I guess not. TMG.
There's no smite available, I guess. Is my only thought process as to why.
You know, it's just Annie and Rakan, right? And Ashe was 1 HP on base. You've got a Jinx. I think it would have been shredded, but oh well. TMG going a little bit too far after that turret, but it is overall still a winning scenario for them. They peel back and they get the Drake. Terps sacrificing himself for Deli there. And in these team fights, it's just like, this Nocturne is just doing so much work. This Ashe is doing so much work. Just absolutely gliding on them. And we're going to start to dance around Baron now. We'll see if Elysium... Importantly, now my team is muted. 3 items on the Jinx. Absolutely massive power spike once again. Although in that fight, Jinx didn't really get to hit a lot. It was kind of a bit of a split fight. Jinx was off to the side a little bit, wasn't able to join in until later, which was a big part of why TMG were able to pick up those initial kills. And team fight would have been great. Much better if they didn't dive and lost 2 more members, but we'll see how they choose to play the team fights now, having access to that Annie flash again. Such a crucial cooldown this game, and Jinx lacking the flash.
Yeah, and it is important to really talk about my team is muted, because you mentioned those 3 items, and the fact that my team is muted was really unable to auto attack in a few of those fights. And if TMG Demon Hunters can continue to cause chaos and not allow this Jinx to really go off, doesn't really matter how big my team is muted is. TMG will just continue to run through these fights. That's a big if, though, and it's the focus that we'll probably have for these coming fights. So keep your eye on this Jinx for these coming moments, as Baron is up and Drake is yet to spawn. It'll take another 2 minutes for that soul point Drake to come onto the map. So everyone's up in the top half, looking for a potential good angle to be able to take this Baron comfortably.
Yep, and Deli also has managed to accrue 3 items here. So that is also nothing to be scoffed at on this Ashe. He is absolutely doing work in these team fights. So the AD carries are a little evenly matched. Of course, Jinx a little bit better in these team fights. Ashe with a little bit more utility. But TMG, I think they're looking to be in a pretty good position this game. They're doing the dance around Baron again, trying to beat them in. Ashe Art just goes wide.
Crystal Arrow not quite finding Dongo. Have been the moments that the Demon Hunters would have looked for to be able to capitalize on a isolated member and then move over to the Baron. Would have been a big boon for them, but not quite going to find the mark. And so we go back to dancing around and jockeying for position, looking and hoping maybe that we can find the moment to be able to pick up this Baron. But as things have gone down, Drake now spawning next few minutes. Terps going to be able to take this fight. Won't quite dodge out the decimating smash. Haymaker not really going to do all that much to Metal, so Terps flashes away himself. Metal's flash not quite back up. So yeah, Terps bit of a whoopsie there.
Yeah, usually this can be pretty winning for the set, but this Scion is very far ahead in gold compared to him, so it turns into a little bit of a losing scenario for Terps. He's got to be a little bit more careful down here. I think he was just limit testing to see if the side lane was finally winning for him. Fortunately, it is not.
Battle's going to TP in. Terps has a teleport response for himself. Should a fight break out, Alves is the target. Going to be stunned up by the baby cage, taking down the half HP. Does get a TP response, but that TP was terrible from Terps. What are you doing there, buddy? Early kill going the way of Supermassive, and so they look to push their advantage. Side Vision quickly going to follow. Paranoia not going to do much. It's a clean sweep for Elysium. Supermassive, of course, if I say that. Deli's doing a ton of damage. And actually, no, flash over the baby cage. It's Deli. Deli's going crazy. No way. Deli is going to push his luck a bit further forward. Dredgeline finds its way down onto the ADC, but Cloudbreeze will only keep his top laner alive with no HP. I spoke too soon. Deli! My goodness!
This 80 carry is just absolutely gliding all over Elysium this game. Look at this, just an awful teleport from Terps. Alves gets caught out on the side as well by the Veigar. This fight should be over. 2 people inting on the side of TMG. Rakan gets caught out with a non-impactful ultimate in the slightest. Brang walks up and does get a massive anti-ultimate to his credit, but the story of this fight is just Deli. Look at him flashing over the cage, no fear, just walking forward, absolutely shredding through them. And he walked over and he soloed the dragon, didn't he?
I mean, surely, right? Yeah, there's nothing Metal can do about it. No TP, no HP. And so that will be Soul going to TMG Demon Hunters, and considering that they want to be the aggressors, they want to be the ones starting out these fights with these funny angles. The Hex Tech Soul will definitely allow them to do that and much easier.
I'm going to be honest. If Elysium can't win that team fight, I don't know what better chance they're ever going to get again. That was pretty much handed to them on a silver platter. But again, TMG just...
No, anyway. Sorry,
TMG just find the way. They just find the one way forward.
And they'll continue to look forward for this game because finally, actually, I was going to, I saw the 6, I read an 8, and I was going to say finally for the first time this game, again, TMG Demon Hunters finally have a gold lead, but I mean, still, technically, they're at a gold deficit. And though that doesn't really matter, the Otacon, the Soul, the extra amount of combat power they have available to them, these means that pretty basically effectively a gold lead. And I think in terms of strictly vibes, TMG Demon Hunters are certainly I guess vibing better.
Oh yeah, that gold lead is definitely misleading. TMG are solidly in the lead this game. They have the control on their side. They're setting up around this Baron. Terps, please don't die.
I think asking nicely isn't really going to help Terps in this scenario. Going to try to stop the show, but the show must go on. Metal picks up that solo kill, and Super Mega Death Rocket almost stealing away the Baron, but no dice for Elysium Supermassive. The
Ashar, he's
finds its way onto an isolated Veigar, but a little bit too far away to follow up on.
Yeah, they are outnumbered and Sound is hitting the base, so taking a fight there. They're going to engage after the recalls come through.
Well, that is a 1,000 gold shutdown. Ideally, you wouldn't have wanted to go on to Pantheon, but as much as we praise Deli this game, he's not infallible in that situation.
You will be taken down there as Alves is scrapping with Metal a little bit in the bot lane, just trying to save this turret. They've got Baron, so not too much damage is going to be done. I expect this mid tier 2 to go down, but that should be about it. TMG should be able to hold on. Of course, holding on wasn't exactly what they were looking for when they picked up Baron and Soul. You are kind of looking to crack open the enemy base, but it's better than losing. So they have that going for them. Cloudberry walking aggressively around here.
Also, a bit of an important completion came through from my team is muted. Picking up the Guardian Angel will be able to keep him alive a little bit longer, hopefully be a bit more effective in these fights. And buy him some time if he does go down and let his team come back up and regenerate that space and continue to auto attack away on this Jinx. So despite how things have gone for the Demon Hunters, and it's very much vibing the way of Demon Hunters, they're still at a gold deficit, and they have a Jinx now who cannot be immediately deleted.
Yeah, after that play, I'm rescinding my claim that TMG is solidly in the lead now. I think this Jinx has become quite strong again. Also, I think crucially, this Veigar is rocking a...
But Cloudberry
maybe a
is
little
the
bit caught up.
target, going to get slowed up. Paranoia going to drop
Nocturne
down
is in there.
onto the Jinx. I think it might
Too
be a
far.
little bit too far from Alves. Bit ambitious. And speaking of ambition, Shy Ambition going to be hit by the dredge line was perhaps a look at
Deli.
Deli. Oh, in trouble, has no flash,
my
does
God.
dodge out the
Oh
dredge
my.
line, and so the response is onto Clash. I don't
Oh
believe it. They get away with.
God.
How do they get away with this? Oh my. TMG Demon Hunters win that fight. Deli's fancy footwork ensures that he stays alive, and the response from Vrang dropping Tibbers down onto everybody might be a little bit too far forward from Deli. Unstoppable Onslaught comes through. Dongo going to get the kill, dropping the W on top of the Ash's head, and Terps, despite how things have gone for the Demon Hunters, has not been a shining point of this team, but actually, he's fine. He gets out.
Yep. He is out, and oh my... Deli is just being an absolute criminal this game, but he's got a get out of jail free card. He's got a couple of them stuffed up his sleeve. He is cheating at Monopoly today. Oh my goodness, this man is pulling miracles out of thin air for the side of TMG. That fight should have, again, should have been lost. It should have been over as soon as he gets
Oh my
caught in that cage
gosh.
with no flash. But they fight their way out of it, and they live to see yet another day here. Elder in 40 seconds. Flash on Deli now, and I'm terrified to see how he's going to use this against Elysium.
Yeah, if Deli can keep up some of these team fights, I don't think it really matters how ahead the Elysium Supermassive team are, at least in terms of gold, because obviously the combat stats from the Soul and the Otacon will be available. Hold on, Death Push coming through. Metal going to face check it first, so he's all right. He's really tanky at this point in time. Can definitely afford to take a few auto attacks to the face, and look at that. His shield is able to absorb everything, and they're fine. So Death Push not quite going the way Team G Demon Hunters would have hoped, but Elder Drake is on the map. That is an absolutely huge objective that is in the eyes of these two teams. Babe Cage going to be dropped, going to be unavailable for Veigar for the next few moments. Metal's going to be engaged
Metal's in a
on
bit
them,
of a
at
rough
least.
position here.
He's Scion, but yeah, I don't know if he really needed to do that, but no Unstoppable Onslaught available for Elysium Supermassive. It means that their options to go in are a little bit more limited. Metal's playing quite far from his team, but oh wait, hold on, flash forward from, Dirty Brains tried to find Vrang, and now the Paranoia will drop, but nobody's in range to then jump onto. It expires. And now, Swiftness going to be used and going to be stopped. It's a really great Baby Cage stunning up 3 from Elysium Supermassive. Dongo going to start the fight and end it on his terms. 3 down, and now it's Vrang. I mean, he's been really good with the hands so far, but you can't hands your way out of that one. Elysium Supermassive on a dime find the fight off of Dongo's stun. And now Alves is the only one left alive to be able to save this game, but I don't think Nocturne can really do all too much on his own, especially without the ults. Elysium Supermassive look to take us to a game 3.
Yeah, it's just such a questionable force there, just getting really antsy, but they haven't burnt any cooldowns, Elysium. They have the Jinx traps, they have the Veigar cage, they've got Nautilus sitting in your face with everything up, and the Rakan is just going to be exploded. Same with the Set and the Nocturne, and Elysium are going to be able to take us to a game 3 after all that. And if I'm Delhi, I'm pissed. I'm pissed at my team.
I mean, yeah, I mean, Delhi. I don't know if it's necessarily. Do we call that a generational performance, considering the Demon Hunter is still lost? But I mean, the fact that this game even went as long as it did was all on the backs of Delhi, because I could name at least 2 fights off the top of my head in which Delhi single-handedly like stopped a clean sweep going the way of Elysium Supermassive. And but yeah, they just fall short at the final moment. As you said, got a little bit too antsy, and Naysayer just presses E. Actually, I say Naysayer is Dongo. Sorry, wrong name listed. Naysayer was the expected player here for this game, but the graphics hadn't quite updated in time. So yeah, wow, that is an emotional roller coaster. I might need to see a therapist after this one.
Yeah, I think Delhi needs to see a therapist too. He needs some anger management classes. I would, if I'm in his shoes. I would definitely call it a generational performance. That was one of the hardest carries from an ADC I have seen while casting. But unfortunately, they are not able to take it across the finish line, even with the Hextech Soul, even with a Baron, even with those plays. But
Otacon as well.
I guess we'll have to see how they fare in Game 3 if Delhi can keep up that performance.
Yeah, if Delhi can keep that performance up, if TMG Demon Hunters can keep their mental up, if Coach Driptide can keep the morale high on the side of TMG Demon Hunters. But I mean, going into the final game, I've all expectations are thrown out the window, and just pure excitement for what will be Game 3 when we come back from this break. So don't go anywhere. All right, we are back for the final time tonight for the matchup between TMG Demon Hunters and Elysium Supermassive here in Titan Conqueror League. One thing we haven't quite covered yet is the potential ramifications of this match. TMG Demon Hunters are more than likely to qualify for playoffs, but a win here would secure it for them, and they wouldn't have to rely on results from elsewhere going the way they would want.
Yeah, and I mean, if they tidy up their team fighting a little bit more, I think that they've got it in the bag so many times that game. They won. I mean, I'm gonna say it straight up. I think they won every team fight, but they just threw it away after by griefing a little bit. Other than the very last one, I think that TMG have solidly been the better team this series, and they have chosen to go back to the red side for some counter picks, which is what worked out for them in game one. So let's see what they choose to do.
Well, counterpoint, it didn't quite work out for them in game two with that set pick not exactly being the most effective, but it is what it is. We move on. Wukong going to be B1 for Elysium Supermassive. It's a pick that they really like so far this year, and in general has been in the meta for quite a while. And talk about meta junglers, the immediate response for all of this is going to be the Trundle.
Are we finally going to see Orianna? It's so OP, it's so good with Wukong. I cannot believe these two champions made it to game 3. Please. Gragas.
Okay.
Okay.
Right?
Interesting. Guessing that's a
haven't
metal
seen
comfort
Metal
pick.
play it in their at least a recent match history, and then Zeri for Elysium Supermassive is kind of treading a little bit off the beaten path here for Elysium.
Okay, and there is a Karma locked in for TMG, so we're going to get a Super Karma bot lane going a little bit heavier on the scaling this game, although I'm happy to see Deli on a hyper carry this game after the performance that we got to witness last game. Getting some Zeri pairing bans, I presume. We'll see who's willing to be the next to blind. Will it be Terps or will it be Vrang for
We'll
the
say,
side
though,
of TMG?
I'm a little bit disappointed with what TMG have gone for. They have picked, up until this point, Tristana in every single week that they have played in this regular season. And in the final week, assuming that they don't flex it mid, which they have done in the past on 2 occasions, but with the Gnar locked in, it'd be a lot of 80, so I wouldn't necessarily expect that. It's just, I don't know, would have been a nice little cap to end the season on. A little bit of a nod, I suppose. But yeah, the way all of this has been performing, getting him on a hyper carry does make sense, like the Sivir, yeah.
Yep. Oh, and that is an Anivia. Wow.
Oh.
That is an Anivia blind pick.
Huh.
Not
Okay.
something you see a lot. Let's see, and it's going to be the Victor response for Vrang. Okay, wow. I mean, Anivia has been picking up in the meta quite a bit. We've seen it a couple times at Worlds. Fakers popped it out as well as G2, but blind pick is crazy. Also,
play it?
Did he? He might have.
I think he did in the KT series.
This is not. Doesn't look like an Anivia game though, but you know what? You know what, Dongo? I'll let him cook. I guess
it's pretty good into the Trundle.
Yeah, I mean, some of those cages in game 2 were. I do think that the Veigar was a solid pick last game. I think it fulfilled its purpose. You know what? I'll let him cook. I'll believe in him this game. TMG, I think, interestingly, have definitely swapped it up, right? They do not have anywhere near as much playmaking as they did in the previous games. They've opted to go for a Enchanter support and a mid laner with a lot less agency. So definitely leaning into a more scaling composition this time. looking to get some deeper item spikes and then fight here, which is a little bit off kilter from what we've come to expect from them this series, which is amazing team fighting in the mid game. Elysium definitely rocking more engaged tools for the first time this series. We'll see if they capitalize on those, or if TMG are calling their bluff and they are saying, nope, you guys are not good at engaging. We are going to counter engage this game, and we are going to beat you at it. And we are going to pick up these hyper scaling AD carry and mid laners and see what we can accomplish.
But in terms of engage tools, this might be a little bit unorthodox, but hear me out. If you run super fast with a Mantra E from Shybishan plus On the Hunt from Delhi, the amount of move speed that the Demon Hunters, I think theoretically should be able to get out of that, they be zooming. And
that's definitely a way to engage. But my main problem is they don't got any CC. There is like not a single hard CC spell that is like reliable on this team, and they're playing against this Zeri. There's a Zeri on the enemy team.
I'm grasping at straws with this one, but hear me out. Anivia throws up a wall. Gnar throws the enemy team into the Anivia wall.
Okay, so we're getting.
And the Trundle Pillar is also a mobile terrain.
Oh my god!
There's
if
options.
He manages
the Gnar into the pillar.
All right, you know what? If he manages to hit Zeri into a Trundle Pillar even once this game, I will buy you a skin.
All right, bet. We heard this. We heard this.
On my life, because that if they do that, they deserve the win. They deserve everything. I mean, with some of the miracles that TMG has been pulling this series in some of these team fights, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have made that bet, because you know what? At this point, we might just see it.
To be fair, I think we've talked about team fighting miracles in this series. A lot of them have come from Delhi, and not so much Terps, though admittedly, Terps hasn't exactly had the strongest team fighting tools available to them so far this series. So perhaps, one good press of R on the Gnar could perhaps change that. But we shall see. We shall see if that comes through to fruition. So we're getting way through on this map. Both junglers starting on the top half of the map, and once again moving to the bottom side.
Yep, we're getting a pretty. Oh, Alves is going right past the bot side, looking for a little bit of an invade here. Definitely the stronger 1v1 at this level 3. Gonna fight him right on this red buff. He knows the timer.
They'll see him. Yeah, he's going to chomp him down. Duddy Brains getting down to half HP. I think he already had used his dash on the Raptors
flashes
earlier. Yeah, and the flash, and goes exactly the way that Alves had it planned out in his head. Perfect strategy there. Read him like a book. And that feels really bad if you're Duddy Brains.
Yep, the Bluetooth auto connects through the flash. Able to knock him down there. I feel so bad to die there and lose your red buff and lose your flash. Wukong's just going to put the fries in the bag and run up to that top crab. And now Alves is going to be pinging. He's going to say, Wukong's got literally nothing to do. Please do not die. He's going to sit top for a minute straight. We'll see if Terps respects that timer or not. So far, it's not looking like he is. On the main map, trading mid.
I mean, it's an early. Oh wait, hold on. Yep, Terps. I mean, the camera focus was a bit odd there. It's showing us not really much happening in the mid lane, but importantly, you were talking about the disrespect from Terps. Some things were going around. The flash forward gets the CC onto the Gnar in mini form, and mini form Gnar is very squishy. I
don't want to say I called it, but based on the disrespect,
you did. Let's be honest, you did.
Based on the disrespect that Terps has been showing this series, it was kind of, I saw that one coming. It's kind of just the problem with when a jungler invades and absolutely smokes the enemy jungler is
oh no, Terps might be in trouble again.
Oh no, yeah, this is what I said. Wukong is going to sit top for a minute straight.
He
literally has nothing else to do.
He held on to his flash last time. He gets the jump.
He will.
Metal's too far away. Yeah, he's fine. He's fine.
But yeah, this is just what happens. Like when you take half of a quadrant, and you skip your own like that, kill them on their buff. This jungler literally has nothing to do until their top side respawns. They have no other quadrant to enter, so they are just going to sit in your lane for a minute straight while your jungler is clearing his own camps that are still up. That is the give and take from that scenario. Thankfully, Terps did not die again. If he did, that would have been an absolute disaster. He'll just escape with the one death and using his teleport there. As Duddy will start up his second cycle here. And he's hoping that he's going to be able to get his bot camps this time.
Yeah,
Not have
but
them
I
taken
don't
by
know
a
if the
troll.
Demon Hunters necessarily care about that all too much,
No, they
because
do
their
not.
eyes are on the first Drake. I don't think this will necessarily be contested, because Duddy Brains is on his own Raptors, and honestly, they're not really in a position to fight just yet, so they won't. They'll just give over the first Drake, and yeah, that's that. Wait on,
is that.
ideally, a few of those level 6s coming through, especially from Duddy Brains, needing that Cyclone to really be effective in these fights.
Yep, and that's the name of the game for TMG. Securing these early drakes is what they've done all series long. Using the power of that Sivir push, using the power of that Victor push, they are able to get a good timer on that Drake and just capitalizing on the tempo gain in the jungle, I think, especially. They know where this Wukong is now, and yeah, picking up that first Drake is a very important one. When you're matching scaling ADCs like this, it's very nice to have options to be able to. Oh, that
Oh, explosive cask.
little bit of poke.
Won't quite find Terps. It just kind of knocks him to the side, and as you said, a little bit of poke. Could have been quite good if it landed in a bit of a perfect spot directly behind Terps to throw him into you. But look at that. I don't think Terps can really do all too much threaten to kill, so not too much wasted in that regard. Explosive cask also has a relatively short cooldown, so all's well that ends well. Oh, wait. Have we lost you? Hold up.
Have you lost me? Am I back?
Oh, wait, no, you're back. There we go. Okay. Jacob's back, everyone.
Back.
Because right as
We're
I said
good.
that.
Just had to smack my
Okay.
mic a little bit.
There we go. Okay. You kind of cut out again for a second time. I got a bit scared, but before we get to technical issues, Metal is going to be chomped down by Alves, and it's a really good pillar, but not quite perfect enough to keep Duddy Brains from getting away as Dongo has arrived to the fight, but flashes are available for Alves should he choose to use it, but he just stays around and accepts his death, so it's a trade back for Dongo.
Yeah, that's yeah, not much to say about that one. You kind of covered it. Just a little
Yeah.
trade there, and they'll go on about their days. Pretty nice. We've got the Gnar laning into the Anivia now. It's interesting. You don't see that one every day. Gragas goes mid to cover against his Victor here. I assume they're going to want to swap back very soon. Gragas is not going to enjoy this one.
Be a bit of an odd timing to do so, though, because no teleports either on Metal or Dongo for the next few moments. So, bit of an just a weird situation for Elysium Supermassive finally getting the push in on the top lane. Doesn't mean that Elysium Supermassive moves straight over to the Grubs, and Alves is on the opposite side of the map. So yeah, no real kerfuffles over these objectives like we've seen in previous games. A bit more calm and collected for this decisive game 3. It's been a little bit not willing to throw away as much for what is a pivotal situation.
Yeah, definitely a lot less fighting across the board. I mean, we talked about it, right? There's a lot less engage for the side of TMG, a lot less tools to fight with. So we're probably going to see a lot more of a slow game with these scaling comps, a lot of trading objectives. We're going to pause. A lot more trading across the map. Cross-map plays are probably going to be the name of the game. Whoever's able to take more when it's their turn is probably going to come out on top this game. And I presume we probably won't see any big team fights till at least 20 minutes when we've got 2 items across the board, but we do know that TMG likes to take my expectations and flip them completely on their heads.
That they do.
So they may continue to force fights when we don't expect them to, and we'll see. We'll see if they are the kind of team fights that Delhi popped off in, or if they're the kind of team fights where a Nocturne is diving a little bit too deep.
It is the TMG Demon Hunters way, though, is to, or at least typically, to just take fights kind of whenever they see it. And to be fair to them, it has worked out for them the majority of this season, as they are 4-2. And are sitting quite all right, are more than likely going to qualify for playoffs, even if they do lose here. I'm pretty sure. The Master Sheet was being a little bit funny today, so I couldn't exactly look up the exact situations in which they might not qualify, but based on cursory knowledge of how this season has gone, it should still be pretty comfortable for the Demon Hunters, especially with getting that first win on the win percentage. But through all that, the pause is finally done, and we're back for not the most exciting game of the series, but one that is, I don't know if to say necessarily more important than the other two, but, you know, the final game of the series always has that little extra pizzazz about it, I suppose.
Yeah, it definitely does, and you can tell that this means a good amount for both of these teams to be in this position. TMG, of course, being the slight underdogs here, I believe. It would mean a lot to them if going into playoffs they could take a game off this first seed favorites. And I did check the master sheet. I believe you are correct. I don't think that TMG can miss playoffs even if they lose this game, because they do have that head-to-head over Omega Gaming Hydra even if they win tonight. So this game's all for bragging points and for seeding.
Is also important for seeding. Do we know how the seeding would necessarily work out if the way things go? I mean, Dorado Gaming Omega, I mean, assuming they win tonight, which is, I don't know what to necessarily say, a safe assumption for the lack of a better term. One, or I guess a more likely result than not would mean that they would be first if the Demon Hunters do win this one. Means it would be a bit of a, I'm pretty sure the Demon Hunters would move up to second in Group A, in my head, if I am remembering things correctly.
I think so.
Strictly on head-to-head.
It's a little messy at the top in Group A. It gets a little dicey.
Yeah. And there's the wall stopping the Trundle, like we said it would in draft.
Yep.
Holmes not allowed to run forward, but decent chunk of damage dropped down. 2 tower shots finds its way onto metal, though. An explosive cask will be used to get that tips away. Not quite a casket just yet for metal. But all the while, Duddy Brains was kind of pushed out of that fight, had to recall, and so the second trait goes away to the Demon Hunters without much of an issue.
Yeah, the Demon Hunters, this series, they have been on top of these objectives and the setup for them. First 2 drakes go to them again in this game 3. Interesting to see. And once again, for the 3rd game in a row, Elysium is going to have a slight lead bot lane, and they are going to reach that item spike before TMG. But there's been no kills here yet, so they are just going to match it up with that Sivir. But it is interesting, the consistencies that have appeared across this series, as the Anivia is going to start permanently getting this push in here. Anybody who's played against an Anivia knows how this goes at this point in the game. You're never getting prio again. Oh, the flash!
Wait, the flash forward from metal. Not quite going to hit the Q. And so it's just a trade of the flashes, but it looked exciting. Looked like we might have a bit of action.
It was a needed needed jump, needed burst of adrenaline for me over here. I appreciate that.
But anyway, we according to Watercat, Aquafelis, they won their series over there, so it does. Oh wait, before we get to talk about ramifications from elsewhere, this fight starts out. Duddy Brains gonna do his best to try to find this fight, but it's a double kill for Alves. Donga will be able to trade things back around, but on the wrong side is Wolf with the Trundle. So 2 for 1 goes the way of Team G Demon Hunters, but straight into the bot lane. Deli's getting low. The barrier will keep him alive, but still not the ideal situation for the bot lane of the Demon Hunters. Oh, wait, hold on. Yep, Dongo's just dead. Saw the end of that, the egg getting cracked open. But yeah, no, in the bottom lane, still 2 more plates going the way of Supermassive, and that's an extra gold to try to counter that out.
And
3 plates, actually.
Alps has found himself absolutely massive out of this early game again. And it's the same story again in the bot lane. It's going to be Elysium getting the better of them in the laning phase. Going to have a 20 CS lead here, although that'll get minimized a little bit once Silver picks up this wave. But just a really impressive skirmish there from Alves. The flash onto, I believe it was Metal, was very, very quick. And honestly, I'm quite impressed with him this series. His consistent ability to get these leads up here in the top side and make these good plays, and especially that level 3 invade that he pulled off has definitely sat him in a comfortable position this game. My team is muted, is now being tortured under this turret, forced to watch his minions die as Deli and Shybishin are going to walk that out. Next Drake. Minute 45. See how the setup begins. TMG with their slight lead. 600 gold. Trundle definitely very strong at this point in the game. But Elysium do not want to give away Soul Point for free. That is something we know for sure.
Yeah, and especially with how good TMG Demon Hunters have been in these team fights, and the fact that they aren't at a gold deficit, or a significant gold deficit, or maybe, I don't know, significant might be a little bit too strong of a word, but definitely noticeable one. Now that they're advantaged, could feel good for them, but as we've said plenty of times, they don't exactly have all the same tools that they usually have available to them. But once again, Duddy Brains is just not here for the objective, so there's going to be no fights over this Rift Herald, which is almost certainly going to be used in the same way that it has been these last few times it has been deployed, as a way to draw pressure away from the next Drake, which is spawning in 40 seconds. But before we get to the end, Alves, of course, as I say, that Rift Herald spawned up, so there's not going to be a tower for much longer for Metal, and he's going to have to try to get out as fast as possible. Alves is going to wail away down on him, going to subjugate him for a bit, gets him down very low, hops, and yeah, doesn't quite have lethal on this Gragas. And all the while in the bot lane, tower is traded back, and actually so is Deli, but Shybishin is able to turn one, heals himself up with the Mantra W, and the heal comes through as well. Shybishin makes it out. Shybishin does not make it out, actually. Duddy Brains just walks up, is able to take that one.
Oh, what's Terps TPing for?
Help for Shybishin, who is now dead before the TP came through, but I can respect the idea of trying to help out your team to keep them alive and maybe turning the fight around, but doesn't work the way that the Demon Hunters would have hoped, and now at a numbers disadvantage, the Elysium Supermassive look to start up the Drake, but the respawns have come through for Team G Demon Hunters. These members will be arriving at any moment. We're here now, 5v5 in around this Drake, down to 5k HP. Can Team G Demon Hunters find a way into the pit? It's a lot of zoning from Dongo, keeping completely the Gnar from Terps doesn't find anybody, but it might have bought some time and space for the rest of the Demon Hunters to walk in. Drake goes away of Elysium Supermassive. Duddy Brain's going to flash over the wall and not find anything else. It will get out, but actually, hold on. The Alves is in a bit of trouble, gotten very low. Metal will get that kill in a bit of a after the fight sort of fight. That just gets the extra kill to Supermassive.
Yeah. All in all, a bit of a disaster for TMG. They pulled up and kind of just watched them do the dragon, didn't really make a fight happen, and then dying on the exit as well. And oh no.
Oh no. Oh wait, he might be able to Does he burst down Duddy Brains in time? Not quite. And he flashes away, and it is going to be slowed up quite a bit. Tidal Wave going to be used and clips Vrang, and so the CC drops. Dongo gets that kill. It's looking a little bit hopeful there for the Victor, but yeah, just a little bit too much for him to handle.
Losing 2 there, and the Dragon is very, very not good for TMG. Not what you like to see. They are still up 2 Drakes to 1, and the gold lead has not shifted that dramatically, but it's just a unfortunate toss away of the advantage that they did have. We're back on basically completely even footing here now. Although I do believe that that's a Zeri about to hit her second item, so with the 80 carry being that far ahead, most of the gold being on the Trundle, I'm a little worried now for TMG for the next couple of minutes.
And the Moonan's Hurricane with the Lightning Crash does start to do a bit of work, and if you hit multiple targets on this Zeri, can significantly increase the damage output that My Team Is Muted has. And I don't think they'll nearly have as much trouble this time around auto-attacking that they did last time as well, so I think My Team Is Muted, as well as the rest of Elysium Supermassive, feeling quite alright with how things are going.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would agree. They have this very strong Zeri. Anivia is also very powerful. The gold is where they want it to be. They definitely have the ability to deal with this Trundle, who is losing his ability to really play the game, right? There's no really great pillar target on the side of Elysium, and honestly no great ult target either. So I think that the Trundle is losing value as the game goes on, especially with him having the majority of TMG's gold. But we have seen TMG, and Deli in particular, able to make miracles.
Cloudbree? Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, he's all good. We've seen them able to make miracles when we didn't think that they would be able to, and we've seen them make miracles and then subsequently throw those miracles back in the grave. We'll see what they're able to do there.
Sometimes, you know, yeah, I don't know. I can't really explain away that game too was definitely should have been in the way of Team GDM and Hunters. Arguably, we really shouldn't be here now, but we are. And that does look like the Otacon getting started up by the side of Demon Hunters. Uh-oh, Shy Vision gets a bit too far forward. The Tidal Wave will finally claim the kill, but the immediate response, Vrang does a ton of damage down onto Cloudbree, so a trade of supports, but Otacon is down now to 3.5k HP. Terp's going to do his best to zone out the remaining members of the Demon Hunters. It's low, it's finally claimed by TMG, and they get out. What a heist.
There was a ward there. They have them on vision too, and Elysium still chased TMG into their jungle instead of walking up to that. Yeah, I mean, Elysium are able to pick up a kill, but that's the Otacon to TMG, and that's a W. That is a big win for the side of TMG. 40 seconds left on this Drake now too, and we're seeing the recalls come through. They're getting prepped for this. We're getting ready. I think Elysium with a slight tempo advantage here. They got a couple more members on the map in the area first. But Shy Vision is making sure to put down the wards before anybody gets here. We'll see how TMG link up and decide to play this fight now. 2 items on both their carries. They are looking very scary. The Shiver, not the strongest yet, but they're looking mid. Owls.
But Cloudbree may have gone a little bit too far. The heal will keep him alive a little bit longer. Now Cyclone will get the space needed, but Duddy Brain sacrifices himself for the support. I don't know if that's what you want. The Gnar brings My Team Is Muted back, but the flash response is solid, and so the kill goes the way of My Team Is Muted. The charge forward finds way onto Deli, but it can't quite find the damage onto the ADC. Dongo will have his E-spell shielded, and so it's too far forward for the bird. The egg won't save him. Deli, I mean Deli, man, perfect timing on the spell shield. Wow. Okay, Deli is just he's him.
If they just temper their aggression a little bit, They cannot be beaten in team fights here. TMG are so much better at team fighting. These guys just recognize where they can go. Frang is getting aggressive.
He's getting very aggressive on a very squishy Nami. Flashes forward, gets the kill, zaps him down. And now there's only 2 members left alive on Team G Demon Hunters, but they are from Respawn, so they're very healthy. Baron is not on the map just yet. I got a little bit too ahead of myself because we have finally picked up the pace in this game. The tempo's fully swung back into the chaos in which, as I've said at the start of this series, Team G Demon Hunters really like to operate in, and they're showing it in these fights.
Time and time again, TMG showcase that they are just better at navigating these team fights, at finding their angles, at engaging on good opportunities, at punishing mistakes. And then sometimes they make a lot of mistakes of their own, which can be their downfall. But in a fight like that, where they just realize that they've won, and they take their win, and they peel back, and they take the objective, they look unbeatable. I'm going to be honest. I don't know how they pulled that fight out. I thought it was really doomed.
We said that in game 2.
That is true. That is true. I'm not going to make any calls on who's going to win the game yet because of that exact reason. But I thought that fight was cooked. After Nami lived, they used a lot of their tools to try and catch up to her, but they're able to just burst down Duddy Brains before before Metal got there. And the extended team fight, I mean, yeah, Deli's just perfect again. The spell shield was good. The kiting around the wall was excellent. He managed to dodge a lot of the damage, and even Terps going in, getting the pushback, and then kiting it out. It was just really clean, I think, from TMG, and they were able to pick up the turret, and they were able to pick up the dragon off of it, and they're in a comfortable lead this game. And this Victor is so strong. I did not even realize. 5-1.
He's
Rabadon. He has Rabadons at 25.
Yeah, he has Death Cap. And 3 items at 25 minutes, as you said, is very strong. Hadn't opt for the scaling items, instead opting for that earlier power spike, and it has paid off for Team G Demon Hunters. Frang's going to be hitting like a truck, and he had done in a few of those fights. The amount of burst he had down onto a few of these targets, especially Cloudberry on the Nami, was definitely significant. So we start this dance once again. Baron, in all this time, is spawned. We do have a while for the next Drake to come up, so all the focus once again to this top half of the map. But since Baron is such a big objective, we'll just dance and poke and prod our way to maybe find a fight, but not a lot of things committed, at least I shouldn't suspect, the next few moments.
Yeah, I don't expect so. The Baron is pretty hard for both sides to start in the current shape of the game. I imagine the Zeri is just going to be a little bit of a black hole for gold, trying to finish off this Infinity Edge before the next major fight takes place, which they're going to hope to have that Infinity Edge done before this dragon, as that is TMG's soul. But they are just going to hang around this top side, make sure they exert their dominance over the Baron, make sure nothing sneaky happens while they are prepping to go do this Drake. Of course, that's the objective they really want. And another Chemtech soul, right? Yeah. So, not quite as valuable as it was in the first game, I don't think, but still a soul nonetheless. A lot of combat stats coming out from those. And I keep looking over at this Victor's items, man, and he's just so scary. A blighting jewel on top of it, like, oh my goodness, this guy is going to be a problem.
Shredding through. But before we get to that, since we have a little bit of a moment to rest, 30 seconds until the Drake spawns, we just got word in that Dorado Gaming Omega did win their series over Onyx Wrath. So they are, I believe, pretty comfortably, or at least they've put themselves in a pretty good spot to get that first seed, assuming that TMG Demon Hunters do win here, which is by no means a safe assumption. The series is far from over. But that is what is on the line for Elysium Supermassive. They need to be able to win this to be able to claim that first seed in Group A. Vice versa, the Demon Hunters, for that seeding in the playoffs, need this win for themselves, which we will hopefully get a resolve to, as the option is to go in on the Gragas by Terps. Nara used layering up the CC, but Metal is still healthy, only down to half HP. A lot committed for this Gragas, and so the Cyclone goes in, and the Tidal Wave follows up, finds its way onto 3, but there's not a lot of follow-up, and the Wukong does go down. It's just a bit disjointed from the side of Elysium Supermassive, but my team is muted, is still alive, but not for much longer. Does his best to be able to come back into this one. Won't quite find the Zeri moments, and so Dongo, the only one left alive after this, but importantly, Kim Tech Soul goes the way of TMG Demon Hunters.
Yeah, that fight started off really interestingly. I liked the decision from Terps to engage on that Gragas, get the chunk. Are they going to try to end, or they definitely
No, wait, they're going to take the tower. No, they're going to take the tower, and then they're going to go to Baron, right? We're going to go to Baron. Surely. Or Dongo flashes forward to get Frank, gets a 1,000 gold shutdown, also finds Deli, so a lot of gold being injected into the Zenithia, trying to pick up a third.
TMG.
Yeah,
What are we doing? And now Elysium is
no, they don't have Frank or Deli. Oh my gosh, no. They don't have their damage.
Baron for sure. Elysium will do Baron for sure. What are they doing?
They're trying. I mean, Olives have Smite, so they're going to try to get this Trundle off the map, so it can't be stolen for sure. But I think all you need to do is have Metal stand in front here, get vision on the Trundle, and then there's nothing that this troll can do. He doesn't even have flash anyway, so it's nigh on impossible for this bear to be stolen over. And we've seen a few. It's not the biggest blunder we've seen from the Demon Hunters, because they lost game 2 off of one last time around, but it's certainly a really massive one. Terps in a bit of trouble. Actually, I say that Olives himself might be all right. Vrang has respawned and has arrived, gets Metal very low, but the Lightning Crash is used and gets the kill down onto the Trundle. The Gnar only finds a stun onto 1, and Terps hops away, but the ult will be used by Vrang, is burning down. Whoa, the damage from Vrang, wait a second, that is a bit more than I probably should have expected, but the fight goes the way of TMG Demon Hunters. Vrang's damage is huge. And so Elysium Supermassive get the Baron for themselves, but they may have equally also lost the game on that. Only my team is muted, is left alive. They have a push in the mid lane. No Lightning Crash available to the Zeri either, so they have to survive for another 20 seconds until Metal and Duddy Brains come back up. But will there be enough time for Elysium Supermassive to do so? Everyone on the Demon Hunters is alive and pushing forward. 10 seconds left for Metal, 5 seconds left for Duddy Brains, but the Nexus Towers are the targets. First one goes down, second one quickly zapped away, and so now the Nexus is open, but the respawns have come through. Will it be enough to save the game? It is not! TMG Demon Hunters in what was a roller coaster and just a questionable end. They managed to take the win. They managed to move themselves into second in seeding for playoffs with this victory, but it comes in such a strange way.
I mean, this is what a strange team, but what a respectable one at that. I mean, these guys they showcase that they are so good at team fighting. They win every single team fight. They find every little angle. They use their tools very effectively. I thought that Soul fight was a masterclass. I think the recognizing that the Gragas is caught out on the side and engaging on him and using the Victor gravity well to keep the other 4 out of the fight is not something you see in Emerald a lot. And I thought that was really impressive. And I thought for sure they were just going to take the game from there swiftly. And then they just ran down mid and killed themselves. Like, they just keep doing this over and over. They keep winning these team fights so handedly, so impressively, and then just completely inting afterward. And then after they lose the Baron, they win another team fight. It finally just ends.
You know, honestly, because the second channel has been dedicated to following specifically the Demon Hunters. I don't know the exact details behind that. I know Sims mentioned it earlier when I was talking about like the lineups for tonight. But having had the honor to cast the Demon Hunters for these past 4 weeks in a row, I mean, this is probably the most TMG Demon Hunters way to win a series, and I I'm worried for Coach Triptide. Not gonna lie, like someone needs to check up on him because there's no. I mean, I don't have any stake in this team other than having casted them a bit, which obviously gets you a little bit emotionally invested. But man, Triptide is the coach with this team. I hope he's okay, man. I hope he's okay.
I hope he is too. I'm not okay. I'm mad. They're making me mad watching this because they make me so happy.
Yeah, so with that, just to reiterate, TMG Demon Hunters are second in seeding behind Dorado Gaming Omega. Elysium Supermassive still qualify as the third seed out of Group A. With this result as crazy as it was, but with that concluding and the Nexus going, that will be it from us tonight. I've been Isaac, alongside me has been Jacob on this cast. Working things behind the scenes has been Shivam, and thank you to everyone at Titan Esports for making this possible. And we hope to see you soon. Have a good night.
See you later.